Hello friends, welcome to Head or Tail Education. Today our topic is hierarchical inheritance in C++. So first we understand what is the definition of inheritance. So inheritance is a process by writing a new class from base class, and we can access directly all properties and methods from base class without writing base class code. Types of inheritance is single, multi-level, multiple, hierarchical, and hybrid. So today we are discussing the hierarchical inheritance. So suppose we have a one class name is A. Then we derived two more class from class A. So new derived class is class B and class C. Then again derive class B1 and B2 from class B, and one more class C1 is derived from class C. Now next again we derived class X and class Y from class C1. So this type of structure of inheritance is called hierarchical inheritance. So definition is hierarchical inheritance is multiple classes is inherited from one class is called hierarchical inheritance. Join channel for more tutorials. Now what is the access control in inheritance? So access control in inheritance is how much access we have properties and methods of base class is decided by public, protected and private access specifiers. Public, all public members of the base class is accessed by derived class. Protected, all protected members of the base class is accessed by derived class. And private, no access by derived class. And inside the main. So here we have the base class A and two derived class B and C. Base class A, the private property A1 and protected property A2 and public method M1, and derived class B, private property B1, public method F1 and F2, and derived class C, private property C1 and method FC1 and FC2 is public. Okay, so here inside the main function I have created one object of class C. Okay, so and I want to access the property C dot A1. So this is not accessible because this is the private property, or C dot A2 is also not accessible because this is the protected property of class A. Now next C dot M1. So C dot M1 is the public method function of class A. So this is accessible inside the main. Now C dot C1 again. So C dot C1 is the private property of class C. So this is not accessible in the main. Now C dot FC1. So C dot FC1 is the public method. So this is allowed to access inside the main. One more property we have, the protected property A2. So here you have seen the inside the class C, this is the property A2 is accessible because this is the protected property. So according to our statement, the protected property, all protected members of the base class is accessed by derived class. Okay, so this is the access control in inheritance. So this is the example of hierarchical inheritance example. So in this example, I have created the base class interest, and second derived class is simple interest and compound interest. So this is very simple. You know already how to calculate the simple interest and compound interest. So the class, here I have included the header files using namespace std and create the class interest. So protected, so float created members variable float rate and amount, and integer time in months. Now one method I have created publicly to read from user. So name is input data. So this function is used to read principal amount, interest rate per year, and time in months. Okay, next you know already, here I have mentioned the simple interest formula. So in this class the principal amount P, okay, and the rate per year equal to R and T equal to time. So simple interest equal to P is multiplied by R is multiplied by T divided by 100, and compound interest is P equal to principal amount, R equal to rate per year, and T equal to time, and CI equal to means compound interest equal to P is multiplied by bracket 1 plus R divided 100 of power of T and minus P. So this is the compound interest. So both formula we will use in this, in both derived class. So class simple interest is derived from interest publicly. So in this class we have all public. So public zero argument constructor, rate, time and months, default value equal to 0. Now this is the simple interest, again 3 argument constructor, so passing value directly from constructor and assign to variables. Now one public method calculate simple interest. Okay, so here one passing, so interest for, so const character loan for, float interest amount, okay, variable, and interest amount equal to, I using this formula, amount is multiplied by rate is multiplied by time in months and divided by 1200. Okay, now next this is the all the see out the message and calculate all the values. Okay, so this is the, because here I am passing month, okay, your duration is months, so I divide by, convert to yearly, so divide by 12. Okay, so no need to confusion of this. Next one more class, the compound interest is also derived from interest class. Okay, so in this class compound interest we have the zero argument constructor, all values equal to 0. Now same like 3 argument constructor compound interest, so passing the float amount and the float yearly rate and int time in months and assign the variables. Here I have created 2 public function. First, for calculate interest yearly, compound interest yearly. Okay, so this is the same float interest amount rate. So here I am, the month is converted into the year. Okay, so divide by 12, then float rate equal to 1 plus bracket R divided 100 and interest amount. Okay, interest amount equal to amount in multiplied by power function underscore rate comma time in year. Okay, so this is very simple logic for this, and finally the interest amount equal to interest amount minus amount, and this is the cout message to show the user how much amount, how much rate and how much interest yearly. Okay, and amount with interest. The same like the calculate the interest half yearly. So here same, now interest amount, so time in half year. Okay, so we know that the in 1 year how much half year, 2 half years means if we divide 12 months in 1 year and divide by 2, so 6 months is 1/2 year and next 6 months is 1/2 year. Okay, so same, that's why I am divided, I am, so convert time in half year, so divide by 6. Okay, again the float half year rate, so rate divided by 2 means if you pass the rate like 10% per year, so we divide by 2 means in half year we have 5%. Okay, then we calculate h rate equal to 1 plus h rate divided by 100. Okay, so value I assign. Interest amount, so amount is multiplied by power, this is all same, h rate is multiplied time in half year. Okay, so interest amount equal to interest amount minus amount, and this next is the cout to print the amount, rate and interest amount. Next now, so our hierarchical inheritance, so divide by means the hierarchical inheritance, the simple derived class simple interest and derived class compound interest. So I am using these both class in the main function. So system class. Okay, so main, in the main function, the clear screen for using system CLS and simple interest SI, I have created the object. So first we read the data, simple interest dot input data and simple interest dot calculate simple interest, so passing for bike. Okay, next again I have created one more object, compound interest CI, and call the CI dot input data, so and call the function CI dot calculate interest half yearly. Okay, so this is, you have seen in this main function the input data of both class using the base class member function, and the simple interest dot calculate simple interest and compound interest dot calculate half yearly compound interest is used the derived class member function. So if you run this program and passing the value, so output is like this. Okay, now we check the demo for this. Okay, join channel for more tutorials. So this is the hierarchical inheritance example. So this is fully same the code which I display in the slide. So this is the interest class, and the simple interest class is derived from interest, and here this is the simple interest 0 argument and simple interest 3 argument constructor, and one public function calculate simple interest. Now next is the compound interest class, is also again derived from interest class. In this class we have 0 argument constructor compound interest and 3 argument constructor compound interest. Now in this class we have two functions, the calculate yearly one public function and the calculate half yearly another public function. So in this both function in compound interest class. Now so in main function, this is the CLS for clear screen, and here created the simple interest object, name is SI. So SI dot input, so this is the base class function, and SI dot calculate simple interest, this is the derived class function. Same like compound interest CI object I have created, so CI dot input class is the base class function I am calling, and CI dot calculate interest half yearly means this is the derived class function. Okay, now this is the run the program. So first we compile this. So program is compiled, no error, no, and run this program. Okay, now so according to our example, enter amount. Okay, so this is our principal amount. So rate is like 9% per year and month like 24. So this is the output of this class, and again calculate the compound interest. So I using the same principal amount 24,000, rate 9%, and time in months 24 months. So this is the compound interest value. Okay, so this is for demo. Now tell summary. So finally we learned inheritance with demo. So inheritance is a process by writing a new class from base class, and we can access directly all properties and methods from base class without writing base class code. So also we learned access control in inheritance. So how much access we have the properties and method of base class is decided by public, protected and private access specifier. Hope tutorial will help to understand hierarchical inheritance in object oriented programming. So thanks to watch Head or Tail Education.